Thanks for joining us this morning. It is the 1st of May, which is kind of freaky if you just learnt that this morning in your car. 1st of May means we're into New Zealand Music Month, and we love celebrating our Kiwi Christian artists. We also love celebrating really cool people. So we got 2 for the price of 1 in studio with us this morning. We're talking to worship leader Chris Cope. He's part of St. Paul's Music. He's in studio this morning. He's going to jam for us as well, playing his brand new single called Garden. So we welcome him to the studio. Chris, good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Morning!
Happy 1st of May.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Has anyone pinched and punched you yet?
No.
Been a hot topic of conversation on this show today.
I'll be watching.
Let's have an amnesty.
Before we get into it, have you heard of White Rabbits with a pinch and a punch?
White Rabbits?
Just say yes or no.
No.
No, yeah, it's some
Is
foolish.
it something? Is that what the kids are doing these days?
Well, apparently, according to somebody.
It's witchery. Don't worry about it.
We won't read it.
I have to Google that one.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks, man.
We were just trying to figure out when was the last time we saw you, and I think it's definitely about a year since you popped in, and now you got some cool music that you're going to play for us. Actually, Chris has brought in his guitar. Tell us, first of all, you're part of St. Paul's Music. For somebody plugging it in right now who's not aware of you and St. Paul's Music.
Yeah. So St. Paul's Music is essentially, because I work at St. Paul's Church, I'm the worship leader there, so St. Paul's Music is essentially music coming out of St. Paul's. The first release that we did there was back in 2012. It was like a full-length live worship album. And then we've kind of done various releases since then. One of them was the one that we came in last year for, which is called You Are My Desire. So we're kind of doing that. We're working on a bunch of new songs. So this new one that we're sharing with you today is a more of a Chris Cope track, if you like.
You've done the Justin Timberlake.
Well, kind of got the two things kind of coexist, kind of in the same space, really. But
how does the rest of NSYNC feel about it?
They're cool. They're cool.
Hey, I noticed it. I don't know how I've never noticed this before about you, but you've got an earring.
Yes.
You've got a piercing in one ear.
Yeah.
And
Which I forget about all the time.
Well, I just asked you about it before. I was like, wow, you've got a piercing. I thought it was a new thing. How long have you had that?
Since I was about 15, actually.
So about 6 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Yeah, no, 7 actually.
Yeah, sorry, my man is off.
And interestingly, I did actually get a tongue piercing as well when I was about 17.
Really?
Yeah.
A tongue piercing?
Much to my parents' disgust.
How could
I
you?
tried to hide it from my parents, and it's really hard when your tongue swells up and you can't actually talk.
That's a
and
difficult
and
one
you're
to keep
drooling.
on the cover. Yeah.
Like, come into the house. How are you?
I haven't done anything.
What are you doing? But that didn't last that long. I just got sick of it. Took it out.
Sela, have you ever had any piercings? Did you ever do the
No.
piercing route?
I haven't done the
No,
piercing.
neither.
No.
I've never. Do you know? Recently, I'll bring this up because recently I just was like, I've never had a piercing. Maybe I should get my ear pierced.
Oh, don't do
I
that
was like,
now.
maybe it'd look
Mate,
cool.
not now.
Whoa,
That's extreme.
Then you come in and I
Don't
was
be
like,
too extreme.
That does look pretty cool.
It looks cool because Chris has had it for years.
Well,
Yeah, but if I only got it last week, though, would it?
Well,
look
this is
any
what
different?
I think. I don't think that
know.
matters because people who know him would know that that's true. But you're just a random person on the street who just sees Chris and they'll be like, cool piercing. Did he get it yesterday? I don't know.
People say that to me all the time, actually. Yeah. All the time.
Maybe both of us should get
Maybe we should do it together.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think you should.
All right.
Yeah.
Can we get back to the music?
Do it. This conversation's fun. I don't see why.
How did that all start for you? I mean, did you grow up in the church?
Yeah. Actually, both of my parents kind of are musical, and they got me into it at quite a young age. And then, my old man plays the piano accordion, so I did a little bit of a stint on the piano accordion. When I was,
Piano accordion?
8 or 9 or something.
Is that the
squeeze box? Yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty hip.
It looks like a really hard instrument to play. There's a lot of things
There's a
going
bit going on. There's
Yeah.
a bit going on. But then, you think about piano, you have to coordinate 2 hands and
But that's just
six
one
brains.
instrument.
You don't have to carry the piano, though. I mean,
True. And squeeze it. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I did that for a bit and then, kind of moved on, started drumming at age 12. And then we actually bought the drum kit for the church, took it home, set it up in the lounge. And then the next Sunday I was on at church with Rock Beat Number 1.
wow.
And I walk by faith. I don't know if you guys remember that song, but that's an oldie. Anyway, Funk Beat Number 1, Rock Beat Number 1. And it kind of just went from there, really. It was like largely just due to being always around music and church, and I learnt to, harmonize, sing harmonies from standing next to my mum in church, listening to her harmonize, and and it's kind of there's never been a shortage of opportunities to to play something or sing something in church,
We're hoping not to offend anybody here, but with that question about your mum learning to harmonise from what she did, standing next to her in church, was she part of the worship band, or was she?
No, she was just
the
in the
mum who just
congregation.
harmonised from the front.
No, she was just in the congregation,
Yeah,
and she just loved singing and harmonizing, and so I kind of picked it up
Yeah, cool.
naturally
awesome.
off her. Yeah,
Very cool. Musical family. Man.
You play a lot of instruments now, and is this
I
comes
try.
into the song that you've done, Garden,
Yeah.
where you've really gone solo.
yeah. Because I've always sort of played a few different things, and then sort of dabbled in other things. Like I started trying to learn piano again years ago, and kind of went for it for a little bit, but then I was just too busy trying to stay decent at drums and guitar and songwriting and other things, so I kind of parked it for a while, and then it's just one of those things I've tried to come back to. So I'm trying to like relearn, practice piano again. But I've always kind of been really interested in, audio engineering and producing and the whole kind of audio geek side of it, and sound design and all that, as well as the actual playing the instruments and writing the songs and all that stuff. It just fascinates me.
You've done all of it on.
Well, so
the
I set
side of
myself
song.
a goal with this particular song, Garden, to record and engineer everything and play everything myself. It took me a while. It was a lot of work and a lot of learning along the way. But I managed to do it. So this is the first song that I've actually kind of managed to play and sing everything on. There were two exceptions. I tried really hard to do the female vocals, but I just couldn't do them. So I got a female to do it.
That's probably a good call.
I think that would take away
probably
from
a
the
good
finished product if you did roll with that.
I did I tried really hard, but it just wasn't happening. And then I also don't play the cello, although I might have a go at some point, but I got a real cello player to play
Wow.
the cello.
Well,
Nice.
you've only brought one instrument in here, which is a bit disappointing for us because,
The kazoo. Yeah. It's
But-
really hard to sing and play kazoo at the same time as well.
He'll do his best.
So, yeah.
Chris is in studio. He talked about the single Garden. We're going to catch up with Chris after Matt West, who we're going to play now. And he's going to actually play down his new single for you, just for you. This is Matt West, and don't stop praying. You're listening to Life FM. This is Life FM on the Morning Wake Up with Sela and Bjorn. And in studio with us this morning, Chris Cope, worship leader at our St. Paul's Music. He's got a brand new jam. It's called Garden. He's going to play it for us in just a second. We touched a little bit on the song, Chris. You did everything bar the female vocals that appear in the song.
And the cello.
And the cello.
Which you won't hear either of those today, but that's on the full version, yeah.
I can do a good mouth cello.
Well, hey, jam that as well if you want. What's the reason and inspiration behind Garden?
How much time have we got?
Oh, really?
No, it's I mean, the garden metaphor is a pretty powerful one that crops up a lot through Scripture. Even the well-known "I am the vine, I'm the true vine, my Father is the gardener," and there's so many amazing metaphors about gardens, and this is it's kind of a bit of a theme that's been recurring, I guess, at our church at St. Paul's for a while. About the church being a garden. It's a place where there's kind of wild life and growth, but it also needs to be tended and kept and pruned. And then there are all these other kind of dropout layers of it, like our own inner life is like a garden that we have to kind of care for and tend to. And all these kind of different layers to it. I think when I first wrote the song, I was out in a little batch out in Piha, and the very first line is, "I come into the garden of the Lord where I know I have a place." And the image that came to mind for me was like a kind of a Garden of Eden, like where everything is just good and full of life and color, and it's a place where we're kind of safe and secure and nurtured, and God is there and we're there, and it's like a place of intimacy and goodness in life. And it kind of goes from there into like seeing God's life in everything, and things coming to life, and yeah, it's got this kind of
Beautiful.
beautiful kind of imagery and stuff,
Beautiful.
which I love.
Okay, speaking of beautiful imagery, I just did a little scan through of the music video.
Oh,
It's really cool.
Yeah.
very
Like,
cool.
so it's kind of just, you should go check it out online. Just search it up, Chris Cope Garden on YouTube or wherever. But it's kind of this like almost storybook, like watercolors and amazing artwork. And I mean,
Yeah.
how do you make something like that? It's incredible.
So basically, I kind of had this idea from the start that I wanted it to be quite sketchy and almost a little bit like children's bookish, but
Yeah, I got real Winnie the Pooh almost
yeah,
vibes.
That was kind of one of the sort of references that I sort of suggested. I wanted things to be a little bit kind of imperfect, so things are slightly unfinished. You can still see some of the sketch lines and stuff. You know, like
Yeah.
there's this sort of unfinishedness to it because it's kind of like us, like our lives. There's still like works in progress, and there's a real beauty to that. And so I kind of knocked on a few doors. Hey, do you know anyone who can kind of do this kind of sketching? And anyway, basically, it came back to a friend of mine, Diane Davenport, who actually goes to our church as well, and she's been a member of the worship team in the past as well. And she does this amazing art. I hadn't seen most of it because she's kind of just been rocking it kind of in her spare time and stuff. And so I had a conversation with her. Hey, do you reckon you could do something like this? And she was up for the challenge. And so yeah, we just kind of had a few chats and a few back and forths, and then we got this other guy, Mikey Bateman, involved who helped with all the sort of the movement and the motion graphics of it all. And I only saw the first version of this video last Wednesday, and I was blown away when it came through because I was a little bit like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to get, you know, until you see it. And I was like absolutely blown away.
It
and
was
I just
really cool.
love it. Yeah.
You need to jump onto YouTube while Chris is playing, so you can check it out because it is a beautiful video. Chris Cope and Garden. A couple of things before we wrap up with you, and you can play. Where can people get your music from? Is it just available on all
Yeah.
platforms? And what do you want somebody to take away when they listen to it?
I would say, yeah, let the song kind of speak to you, because I think it'll be different things for different people. And probably one of the questions is, where is the garden that God has placed you in right now? Like, your garden could be an urban garden, your garden could be your workplace, could be a number of different things. And what is God wanting to do with you in that place? Yeah, that
That's
would be
awesome.
probably my question for you.
Anything else you want to get out there before you play?
Oh, no, just grateful for people to go hear the song, check out the video, and, share it and like it and do all that good stuff, because it all helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're grateful for you, Chris. Thanks for taking time out
Cool.
to
Thank
come
you.
out and hang out with us this morning. Stay blessed, and you will actually be blessed by listening to Chris's brand new single. It's called Garden.
I come into the garden of the Lord, where I know I have a place. The rhythms of your love in me are formed as you lead me in your grace. And here I will thrive in the good and perfect shelter of your branches. And here I'm alive. I can see all the colors and your life in everything. I'm standing in the garden of the earth, in the goodness of your grace. You fill me up with each and every breath,
and you refresh me with your rain. And here I will thrive in the good and perfect shelter of your branches. And here I'm alive. I can see all the colors and your life in everything. You see me and you know me. You see me and you know me. As your rain pours out on the soil of my life, I see fruits of the Spirit start to rise. And as I stand in the warmth of your ever-burning light, I see seeds in the garden come to life. As your rain pours out on the soil of my life, I see fruits of the Spirit start to rise. And as I stand in the warmth of your ever-burning light, I see seeds in the garden come to life. Here I will thrive in the good and perfect shelter of your branches. Oh, and here I am alive. I can see all the colors and your life in everything. I can see all the colors and your life in everything. I come into the garden of the Lord, where I know I have a place.